Welcome to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny Slicks driving around with flaming dildos on his car.
Hey, man, that's going to get some attention, though.
Speaking of, I don't know if we were recording, but you just got back from a little mini vacation.
Yeah, where dildo cars existed. Yeah. Key West. It was awesome.
It was the first time you've been down there in a long time?
Yeah, in a while. Last time I was down there, I was like 12, 10.
And what did you learn? What did we learn in Key West? What was the education that the Slicks?
A lot slower. I don't know. Here's the thing. Uncensored. I didn't know gay pirates existed. And I love Key West is rad. I love it. I'll go back any day. But like, I did not know. I literally saw like pirates that were gay. I didn't. It was wild, and it wasn't like a cosplay thing. It wasn't. Like
pirates that spend a lot of time on ship.
I understand. Yeah, they created cocktails, margaritas, and all that. I get it. Like, but I never saw them like walking down the street. Like,
or makeup.
We're at Publix, and I'm like, they're there in the chip aisle. Like, it was just a little bit like, what, But it was cool. It was rad. Everybody was unbelievably nice.
A little bit of dick, a little bit of chips.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Chips and dick.
Chicks and dick.
Chips and dip.
Dip and dicks. Dip and dicks. That sounds like a fucking company.
But it's interesting. So we went down there for the pursuit video.
Yeah.
With Indian motorcycles. We did that whole trip with Matt Vitzit. And
I'm drinking out of a Matt cup.
Oh, there you go. There you go, Matt. Kick the day in the dick. I love that. I've said it so much. Kirk thinks it's mine. I'm like, no, it's not even mine.
I have his black on black mug. Yeah. My favorite.
But it's a very different demographic down there. Mm-hmm. Like it's not the alphabet soup that you see on the internet.
Not at all.
That's like these people love two things: men and America.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was one thing I noticed. We're driving down from Homestead, from the Everglades, and I'm seeing American flags, and then I'm like, wow, there's a lot of. I've never seen more American flags other than Delaware. Delaware has a ton of American flags.
Really?
Like driving through Delaware, it's like they own pristine. Like Felton, where my grandparents live, like fucking amazing, man. Flags everywhere. It was like I'm getting like goosebumps driving down the road. I'm like, dang. But like Florida, driving down, I'm like seeing a ton of American flags. I'm like, this is rad, this is cool. And then all of a sudden they start getting really colorful. And then I'm like seeing a few American flags and a whole lot of rainbow flags. And I'm like, well, we're here. We're here. We're here. But it was cool.
Why Key West?
Why did we go to Key West?
Why did you pick that?
Well, I went as a kid, and I was like, I loved it. So I wanted to show Rebecca that as well, because she's never been anywhere. So I wanted to take her to some place that I've been at least, so I can like remember how it felt. It was very different than when I went. The way we did vacations when I was a kid, it was very different. Like that, we slept in a hotel. We didn't do laundry. We put like clothes in a garbage bag. Like it was very different. But I wanted to take her there just because it was familiar to me, and I wanted to have that memory with her as well, and make our own vacations type thing. You know what I mean? So
wrestled a gator.
Yeah, a gator this big. Yeah.
Wrestled a gator and did the not your first fan boat ride, right?
The airboat? No. I've been on tons. Yeah, her first airboat. Yeah, for sure.
Pretty wild.
And she was like, the guy goes, anyone sitting in the front seat's gonna get wet. I'm talking like gallons of water wet. And the first thing she goes, we're not sitting in the front. I was like, watch, we're gonna end up in the front, bro. And guess what we did?
Poncho or nothing?
Nothing.
Just soaking wet.
Yeah, that's it. And we drove to Miami to get on the plane like right then and there too. So it was like,
oh, you did this. You did the ride after you got back.
What do you mean?
You came back from Key West to do that? I thought you did that on the way down there.
No. On the way down, we stopped in the Everglades because I just wanted to show her a gator real quick. We drove onto the park. We saw a gator like right there, and we just turned around and went straight to Key West. And then it was like mid-vacation. I'm like, do we really want to drive 5 hours to go to the gator place? So we were like, what if we do it the day prior to leaving on the way back up to Miami? We just stopped there because you were like get a hotel in Miami for the flight and everything. So we drove up there.
That worked out
amazingly. Yeah. And the restaurant was awesome too. We had food come up and it was amazing. But we drove up and stopped at the gator place, spent a ton of time there, and that was like the full day. And then we just popped right up to Miami and just stayed the night, got on the plane right then. So it was like, it worked out that way rather than driving 3 hours up, 3 hours down.
So this is something kind of the same conversation, but you guys did not take any sort of vacations for like a long time.
Yeah.
Like for at all.
Yeah.
And obviously there's a financial reason sometimes behind that. But over the past, couple years, I've really pushed you guys to go do things.
Yeah. We've been married for.
You just hit
11 years.
11 years.
Married for 11 years. And we've done, if you count like 11 years, the first 9 or 8, really, we didn't have like a single vacation. And in the past 3, we've had like 1 a quarter.
Yeah, you said your honeymoon, was that like some rundown?
It was a truck motel, trucker's motel. My dad put us up in. He was like, welcome to being married. Now you guys share a bed. Here, I got you. It was like $17 a night. He paid for us to go there.
Gross, bro. Could you imagine?
Dude, oh my God. The bathroom was the bedroom, was the entry room. Like it was all like one, like a tiny little room. It was a trucker's motel. It was like tiny, you know what I mean? It had like a heart-shaped, like a tub, from Dumb and Dumber. Like it was the same thing. And I had recruiter's duty at the same time. So I'm like, it was just like, that was our honeymoon. Yeah, for a week.
Hey, you know what though? To be that young and be like, well, at least we're not being bothered.
True. That's true.
At least we have some sort. We just have privacy with the guy that's,
the
guy that's peeping through the peephole in the wall. Selling. There's probably videos of you guys on the market out there from that truck stop.
Probably. Yeah.
But in the past few years, you guys have been doing more. How's that? What's the reason for that? And then have you found any importance in it?
Definitely important. Just seeing and experiencing different places is like, it gives you like an empathy towards other people, where they're from, how they act. Like, you know what I mean? That type of thing is always beneficial. We don't call them vacations. We call them adventures because it's more fun.
Yeah.
But getting out there and doing that, she never really did that stuff as a kid. And same with me. We went places, but it was like Disney. It was like Orlando. It was like big vacation places. It wasn't like going on a nature trail.
My whole life was an adventure. We lived out of a car most of the time. And
Right. Yeah.
we went a lot of places.
Yeah. For us, it seemed like really mechanical. Like we were talking earlier about like things that are made from the earth and the things that aren't. Like when her parents and my parents both did this. They like call up a travel agent and they're like, "Hey, can you book us a trip?" Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I'm like, that's not really. We're different. That's different. You know what I mean? I'd rather spend a week in a cabin and then every single day just wake up and be like, you want to go for a 12-mile hike? And just figure it out then. So we've been doing things like that. And it's been so like crucial to like breathing, I guess, because we're so fast paced here and we're like constantly. I
was going to say, has it been a good disconnect? Because you guys go almost every quarter, there's something. And I've kind of pushed that because we do the same thing. Yeah. At least a quarter. I think everybody should. And it doesn't have to be a huge. I think that's like you said, like people say vacations, and they're like, "Oh, that's overwhelming. I got to spend all this money. I
have to save for that."
It's like just go away. Yeah, you can do a lot of different things. Just pick something, plan a date, plan for it, and get away.
I think, and not taking it too deep, but I think it's our labeling system in our society and culture. Like we label meditation as like turning off your brain, yet like meditation is like, you know what I mean? Like we journaling as like just keep a diary. Like it's not really how it is. Vacation is like. You picture going to Disneyland. That's
turning off your brain. That's funny.
That's how people in this culture think about meditation.
Like some shit I had to work on for 8.5 years to get to work.
Right? It's not that. It's like, how do you think about not thinking? Like that's you're going
intensely. Intensely
think
about
not
thinking.
And you have to stay quiet. Like that's not meditation. So it's like it's the same thing. It's not vacation. Like if you're stressing out, that's the opposite of vacation. That's the opposite. Like you shouldn't be stressing out about vacation.
Do you think it's enhanced your guys' relationship by any means?
I think so. Just because we've had to I don't like flying. So like having to go through that experience with her is like, it helps. It grows. All that stuff grows and all the pain points and the stressors and all that.
How was the flight?
I'm trying to recall them. There was one that was like a little rough. Other than that, they were good. We're sitting nice in Comfort Plus and it was good. It was, I think we had, here's the thing too, like they were only like an hour and a half, 2 hours long. Yeah, so it really wasn't bad. You know what I mean? But I'm starting to realize.
I totally forgot you guys flew.
Really?
Yeah, it just like blanked my mind for some reason.
Yeah.
Because for me, flying is, I feel like I just live on a plane sometimes.
Yeah. And I would love to feel that way, but I have my own stuff I got to conquer. But I'm starting to realize that, like, yeah, you've seen my hands like beat up with sweat for turbulence, but I don't know if turbulence is like the thing anymore for me. And maybe I'm like growing past it, but it's more or less like the anxiety of getting there and just like, honestly,
I remember I totally distracted you at one point.
Yeah. Well, going to California last time.
Is that when it was?
You distracted me because you were like, hey, what are the sales? What is Black Friday sales?
I was pulling a Kansas City shuffle. I was like, look over here.
Yeah.
Look at this shiny object.
You've done that a few times.
And the next thing you know, it's like, oh, it's just done.
Landing.
We're landing.
Yeah. But I'm starting to realize too, like, as soon as we get through TSA, I'm like giddy. I'm like fun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this. I try to think about Mitri. I'm like, what would he be doing right now?
Whatever the fuck he wants to.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I'm like, how do I get that? What's the difference between him and me? Like perception, that can change, right? Like I can shift that. So I think it's just more or less like getting there and getting the thing going. But I think the flights went perfect. They were fine. Yeah.
So anyways, going back to the relationship building, do you think it's imperative that people that are in a relationship go adventure with each other and go have fun?
100%. 100%. You have to. Like if you don't, then you're just living the same life 75 times in a row every year.
You've been hearing me say that a bunch?
Yeah. Well, I put it on the whiteboard a while back.
That's why I've been saying it.
I love it, bro.
Bro, that shit, like,
yeah.
How terrifying is that? To live the same year, the Groundhog's Day.
Yeah.
Every year for 75 years and then call that a life.
Sadly, like, I think like 90% of people do that.
98%.
98%. Yeah. So it's kind of sad, but.
Bro.
It's rough, man. And like if
that gives me anxiety to think about. I'm like, I got to change some shit immediately. I'm like, I change shit all the time.
Yeah.
Like I gotta like some shit's got to change. Yeah. Because I'm not living the same year.
Like directed change though. Yeah. Like getting a bigger pant size is not a good thing. You shouldn't look for that. Yeah. You should be.
That's going to shorten your 75 years.
Right. Yeah. But I do think it's imperative for relationships in general to go on anything, whether you call going to the store an adventure. Like make it an adventure.
Yeah, we did, Allie and I do couples counseling, periodically, not because necessarily there's anything wrong, just because it was funny. The one of the counselors that we talked to for a while she was like, so why are you guys coming here? And we explained it. She goes, oh, you just want like that elite level marriage. I'm like,
do you talk to people that don't?
Yeah, I was like, wouldn't that be the standard?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Anyways, I was like, yeah, of course. And, one of the things that we weren't really doing enough, we did stuff, but we weren't doing enough, is that couples don't play with each other. And I don't mean like physically. I mean, unless they want to.
No, I get it. But
like go play.
Yeah.
Like as adults.
Yeah.
Go fucking play. Yeah. Go have fun.
Yeah.
Whatever that is for you. Ride bikes, be silly, tell jokes.
Play card games. Literally whatever it is.
Go, get a babysitter, for the night. Just send your kids to some off. Yeah, whatever. Get high.
Yeah.
Eat Cheerios. I don't know. Smoke a bowl with each other and have fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that too much, Mario? You're dying over there.
I like it.
No, it is. I mean, it's important for individuals.
Be teenagers again.
Yeah, you want to grow together, right? Yeah. And you have to grow together.
Be teenagers, and I think that sometimes we let the weight of the world and our problems become so forefront that we don't allow ourselves to be kids.
Yeah.
We don't allow ourselves to have fun with our significant others.
Yeah. Well, how many times in our society are we told to grow up?
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, are we supposed to act a certain way now? Sorry, my bad. I can't climb trees no more. Dude, I tried to climb a tree in Key West, and I couldn't. The palm trees are too smooth.
Mowgli can.
Man, I think I need like a Jackie Chan. He wraps a T-shirt around and like climbs up.
The right, palm tree technique.
I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But I do think it is important to play with people you grow. I read today, I wrote on the whiteboard, the extent of the struggle determines the extent of the growth. So like it's true. Like however high you jump is the success of the jump, right? So like if you play hard, you grow hard. If you whatever you do hard, just do hard. But like you need to play. You need to turn off and get.
Well, I mean, if you look at that same exact quote, look at what we've done with Johnny Slicks over the past.
Right.
March will be 6 years.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. The extent of the struggle.
This shit was hard.
Yeah.
It's still hard.
Yeah. It's like one of those token machines, like the ticket machines at a arcade. Like you put one ticket in, you get one coin. You put one energy into something, you get one back. Like that just makes sense to me. And when we do that, we do it with play as well. So like whatever you do, figure out what that other side is.
Go hard in the paint, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, like go hard in finger painting.
Yeah.
Drip sweat while
I thought he was going to go somewhere else with that.
So did I. My brain went somewhere else, but you know.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'm a kid.
We're just painting. We're just painting.
Hey, man.
We're just painting, dude.
Look, I paint, so that's just what I go to. And I get sweaty when I paint. So
Get sweat.
bro,
Where do you sweat from while you're painting?
This is taking a turn. This is taking a hard turn.
What body parts are sweating while you're painting?
Literally, I lay canvases on the floor. I'm being serious now. I'm not actually. I lay canvases on the floor and I paint, and I'm like dripping sweat onto them. So I have to have a paper towel in my back pocket to like pat my forehead when I'm painting.
I just picture like a flash dance scenario where like Johnny's in like some silkies. You know what I mean? Just sweating his ass off and like dancing around and painting. Is that what's happening? Is that the scene?
No, I think that takes too much work. No.
Too much effort?
Too much effort.
Why would you be sweating if you weren't dancing and moving around?
That's a good point.
Damn.
Focus? I don't know.
I think he's silkying it up and dancing around. I think I need a video of this.
I have a video of me doing it. I'm not joking. I really do. I do. You want to see it? I'll show you after. I really do.
I'll put it up right now.
Okay. I have it. I'll
Into
send
the
it to you
camera.
so everyone can see
Into
it
the
too.
camera. Do it.
We don't have time for me to look for it.
All right, whatever.
Oh, that's great.
We do, but I'm not going to be able to.
Nice hoodie, by the way. Nice hoodie.
Everyone's got the same hoodies on.
All got the same hoodie on.
Yeah. No one here gets out alive. A lot goes into that.
It's kind of what we're talking
I got
about
that
here.
saying from Jim Morrison, and I threw it on a shirt.
He didn't make it out alive, did he?
Johnny, are these gonna be sold on the website?
No.
Okay.
Good job for bringing them up, Nick.
Shit.
Here's the thing: they will if people want them.
Show them the back.
Like,
show the back of it.
There's only 5 people that listen to the podcast, though.
Yep, you can see that. Yep.
Yeah, it used to be 4. Who?
Johnny Slicks, if you want.
Oh, it was Peter Thies. Peter's like, oh, I'm your 5th listener to the podcast.
oh yeah, thank you, Peter. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I was like, we only have 4 listeners.
Pete.
Now we have 5.
Peter.
Yeah.
Dude, Peter, please hit subscribe. I don't know. I'm sure.
No, he already said. He said he's the 5th.
Oh, he's in. He's in all the way.
So we got 5
That's awesome,
now.
man. Peter, I
Yeah.
appreciate you, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, so how you doing?
I'm good.
Johnny Slicks related.
Johnny Slicks is booming.
It is booming.
We've 1 month in, we've already beat our goal, which is like phenomenal. It's awesome. I think everybody feels it.
Yeah.
But everybody's.
How do you feel about the new behind the scenes?
I like it.
Grit to Glory.
I think
series.
we've needed it for a while. We just never really had the proper
bandwidth.
Bandwidth to be able to attack that. But
I think I brought it up 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 years.
I brought it up 2 years ago. We just did not have what it took at the time.
Yeah,
there's too many other things going on with growth to like allocate to that.
Like it didn't fit properly, but now it doesn't. It doesn't inhibit anything. It just like flows in. Yeah.
So if you guys haven't checked it out, the Johnny Slicks YouTube, maybe Mario put a link somewhere.
Yeah, from Grit
in the description.
We'll just do you have a trailer for it?
I don't think he has a trailer yet for it.
No? Episode 2 is coming out soon, so maybe after that.
So you guys can go check that video out, and then by now, when's episode 2 coming out?
Friday.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just shot the outro. Yeah. So Friday, I think.
That's excellent.
Do you know what we're doing Friday?
Are we blowing shit up?
Yeah. Yep.
But that's not episode 2. That would be episode 3.
Yeah, I just talked about it on episode 2, the outro.
Oh, so on episode 3, we're gonna blow some shit up.
Yeah.
For the birthday.
Yeah, it's gonna be rad. We've been wanting to do that for years.
Yeah, explosions. My dope on my long guns. There's no way that shit's good. So
I was
that's
gonna say.
Be funny.
She's like, Allie's like, do you want to shoot? I'm like, I don't know if my red dot is good for that length.
My pistol's on point.
There we go.
I mean, you just fucking a couple shots, right? Just just hope for the best.
No, I want.
You want one shot?
I want I want to take my 308 out there and just.
Okay.
Whammy. Are we adding some fuel to this thing, Mario?
I want to add some gasoline to it.
Yeah. All right.
Good. Make boom.
Yeah, okay.
Me make boom.
Can you say that after you shoot? Like,
me make boom.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for that. The show's coming along really great, and everybody's on board with it, which is really cool.
All the employees.
Yeah, I was nervous about people on camera being like,
they're so awkward.
Everybody's so cool. Yeah,
we have such an awkward group.
There is a time I pointed out every single time. I pointed out today. Every time a camera gets pulled out, people vanish. Though it's wild. It's like magic, man.
Is it all the chicks?
No, it's just like random. Like today, everybody was in Unit 2, and then Mark came in, and then all of a sudden it was just Colin and Nick, and I'm like, "Yo, where did everybody just go? That's wild. You guys are just going to be in the background, like I'm talking. Everyone just vanishes, unless they're like, hey, hold this,' and then they're like, okay, and they're cool. Everybody's cool on camera, but it just seems like it's a magic wand. Everyone vanishes."
So going back to the growth of Johnny Slicks, and what did you say was the quote? The struggle.
Oh, the extent of the struggle determines the extent of the growth.
So on that, in that vein, before we were talking, you were trying to debunk. I talk a lot about gagging, put a ball gag in that freaking in the inner bitch's mouth. And here's the reason why. And maybe you haven't heard me talk about it. That little voice in your head that says, "Don't turn the water to cold. Don't do the hard thing," is the same voice that tells you you're not worth it. It's time to end it.
Yeah.
So like my goal is to get people to take that little voice, ball gag him, duct tape him, hog tie him, and throw him in the trunk of the car.
Yeah.
And then put the inner advocate, your co-pilot, the ones that's like, nope, you're deserving of love. You're worthy of love. You've got this. You're a badass. You're capable of so much more. You can do it, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
Put that person in the co-pilot.
Yeah.
Now, the duality of what you have inside your head, you're never going to be able to get rid of either one completely.
Right.
There's one person I think that might have gotten rid of the inner bitch.
I agree with that one person. I don't know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Like there's something wrong with him, but that's the reason why that he is the way that he is, because he doesn't have an inner bitch.
Yeah.
Anyways, but you said you think the inner bitch should be.
I think
in the co-pilot.
No, not the co-pilot.
No,
I think that the inner bitch should be in the back seat.
Okay.
And I have a reason why.
Okay. So you want to sell me?
Yes, I'm here to
on this podcast. You want to, and I will be. If you make a convincing argument, I will say. I will. Yeah. Let's just see where it goes.
So with Steve, I think the reason why, and I don't think you can kill your inner bitch or your Superman. I call him my super me.
Yeah.
Right. My super me and my inner bitch, and then me. Right. So I think. You can't kill them, but I think you can leverage them.
Okay.
Right. So me, I'm in the driver's seat. I'm driving the car, and my super me is the co-pilot. He's telling me the best directions to go. You got this. Go ahead and make a left. You know what I mean? You got this. I think it's important to not silence the inner bitch and use them almost as a south point on a compass. So when your inner bitch says you can't public speak, use that as leverage to do the opposite of it. So almost as like a South Star to you. So do the opposite. Like a backseat driver. You don't listen to them at all.
So then why is he even there?
To tell you what not to do. So say you get a big ass menu and you don't know what to order, right? The super you is like, get the fucking steak, bro. Get the 64-ounce steak. You got this, bro.
So that was me. That was me.
That was you, right? But your inner bitch is like,
you got this. John, you can eat that whole freaking thing,
do it,
John.
Bro. I'm with you. I got you, bro. Let's do it. But the inner bitch is saying, just get something off the side, the kids menu, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Now you know not to go to the kids menu for sure. Because your inner bitch said to do it. So talking about cold shower, right? The inner bitch is saying, don't do the cold shower.
Do the opposite.
Now I know what not to do. Thanks. Yeah. You gave me the ballot. You checked it off and said, do this. I'm doing the opposite. So actually Quentin said it, and he was like, use that voice as you have a compass. It's pointing backwards. Now you know the exact direction to go. It's called the opposite. So, and if you silence that, you only get one contrast. You only get one duality. If you get the inner bitch in there, like, I'm not saying like take word of anything he says, but let him speak and then fucking do the opposite. Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. My only concern is if you allow that if you allow that part of you to have a voice in your decision-making process when you're at your lowest.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You can't silence him anyway. It's impossible. Except for Steve. But like, you know what I mean? Like you can be the strongest dude and there's still going to be that voice that's like, you don't got this, bro. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough.
Yeah, but which voice is louder?
Yeah, that's one of the co-pilot, obviously. Yeah. But that voice that's telling you, stay comfortable.
I see your point. I do see your point.
Do the fucking opposite. Because he's going to be there anyway.
But my only concern is with people that are not.
Is a risk of giving it power.
Yeah.
I understand.
So like that's my, especially if not where obviously where I'm at today.
Yeah.
Right. But me 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
That voice needed to go away.
Yeah.
But that voice was so loud at the point that it was like, I had a gun in my hand. I was standing on the beach ready to end it. And so that's my only concern is
so I think then it comes down to, I'm sorry for cutting you off, but I think it comes down to like, it's a muscle, right? It needs to be worked. So like, imagine like there's the Three Musketeers, right? And like you go up to the car every time and someone calls shotgun and it's different every time, right? Yeah. Like if your inner bitch, if you make it such a repetitive thing, their inner bitch automatically goes to the back seat because it's done through repetition. You're just constantly, you know what I mean?
It just creates, you'd have to, I think this comes later. Initially.
After it's so-called mastered, or at least prioritized. Yeah.
Because
identified.
Because when you're like, you know, being, and you've been there too. You've been in some dark places. When you're in the throes of darkness, right? And Mario can kind of speak to this as well. It's really hard to differentiate. The clarity is not there.
Yeah.
Right. It's almost all you feel is the darkness. All you feel is the negative.
And all you hear is essentially one voice.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's
it's survival at some point. Yeah.
So that would be my only concern is that when a person's at their lowest.
Yeah, I agree.
You know,
However, that's when you
yeah.
Yeah, you need a team for that.
Yeah. You insulate, don't isolate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's when that's the only time that it would become a problem. But once you've kind of got a team and you've kind of got a handle on yourself and you see light at the end of the tunnel.
And like, hello, my name is inner bitch.
Yeah, or you have a direction of what you're taking, right?
Yeah.
You have a direction of what you're going. Then it's like, I can differentiate the two.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But dude, like for me personally, there was a long time that there's the inner advocate, the one that was the super me.
Yeah.
I don't know where that motherfucker was.
Yeah.
He was gone.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know. Can you relate?
Right now?
I guess not.
Who's talking?
Yeah. No. Yeah, I'm definitely in that boat right now. I think you know that too.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say I'm at the lowest point of my life, but
definitely
I'm definitely going.
You don't have a bullet in you anymore.
Right. Exactly. But I'm definitely going through a lot of things personally that affect the way that I think about a lot of things.
So the clarity of the voice is an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we'll use the example of stacking L's in the morning.
Yeah.
My alarm went off this morning at 5. I had the intention to wake up at 5. Didn't fucking do it. Mario. I know. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be vulnerable.
Yeah. So whatever reason you did was the inner bitch.
Exactly. Now that we're talking about it, obviously you can see like, okay, yeah,
obviously.
That was definitely
hindsight. Hindsight is super clear.
But at the time, obviously it's 5 a.m. Like just the typical stuff that people say. It's 5 a.m. You're fucking warm. You don't want to wake up. It's whatever.
Marcus Aurelius.
Yeah, it's
one of my favorite quotes.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the inner bitch it takes over, and sometimes it's hard to fucking silence it, especially when you're going through a lot of stuff in your life, like I am.
Yeah. Well, and too, the inner bitch is really good at finding the sugar-coated stuff. So like saying, you gotta sleep. It's for recovery. You know what I mean? Like the inner bitch is a beautiful master when it comes to stuff like that. Yep. And being able to identify like Marcus Aurelius, jump out of bed, right? So I do the same thing, man. 5 a.m, my alarm's going off. Well, Rebecca's alarm is going off. My bed vibrates. It's fucking fancy, man. But it goes off.
Your bed vibrates?
That's kind of dope.
Yeah, man, it's cool. I have a 8 sleep. It's a sleep pad, so it's cold and it vibrates as its alarm. It like gently vibrates.
Shut up.
And it heats up, so my body like heats up. Dude, it's wild. Anyway, so it goes off.
If it heated up, I'm immediately out of bed. I'm
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
Fuck this. I'm out, bro.
It does everything it forces.
Go.
But at some point, that's like that's strengthening my inner bitch because it's not allowing me to work on doing it myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like at some point, I do the same thing, man. Everybody does it. But if it doesn't align with the goal, then it's the inner bitch. Like that's my rule, right? Like if I look down at my hands and I'm like, this isn't a part of my purpose, why do I keep doing it? Oh, the inner bitch is driving. Yeah. Get back in the back seat.
And just to piggyback off what he was saying too, about like your inner bitch has creative ways of letting you know what it's thinking. Because he was like, oh, you need more sleep, you need to recover. And in my head too, I think the same thing. Oh, Joe told me I need to sleep a lot because I'm prepping for a show, so I need to sleep a lot to grow.
Yep.
So it's like that. I'm like, okay.
Oh, bitch, that means go to bed earlier.
right.
You dumbass.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't mean staying up till midnight eating Hot Pockets, playing Call of Duty.
Right. Yeah. Don't let yesterday's actions suffer for today.
The quote that we're referring to, if you guys haven't heard it, is it's at dawn when you have the trouble of getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of? I'm going to do what I was born for, the things I was brought into this world to do. Or is this what I was created for? To huddle under these blankets and stay warm. Ugh.
Yeah. In that with what he was talking about, he had a really unique way of looking at the world. And he even looked at trees and like squirrels and stuff as like, what makes a tree want to grow to be the tallest? Not money. It's not in competition. It just is doing what a tree is meant to do. Yeah. So what is
with the space that it's been given?
Right. Yeah. So what is a human's job to do? It's to help each other and be kind, challenge virtues and grow. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with money. Nothing at all. So like, is it your job to lay in bed all day and be comfortable? How are you helping and serving people and growing by doing that? By recovering extra.
Yeah, and
it doesn't make any sense.
You know, and I'm not trying to knock on Mario right now, but
no, I know he's not.
But you know, if what you are driving, I'm gonna tell people in the Agoge all the time, like if you don't have a reason to get out of bed in the morning, like bro, we got some work to do.
Yeah,
like I
that's
get
a perception thing too.
I get out of bed. I get out of bed like I just did a line of cocaine because the shit that I got going on, like I'm building something.
Yeah,
I don't want to lay in bed.
Yeah.
You know, it's time to fucking go.
Yeah. Dude, I'm at the point, you know when you look in the sun, early in the morning when you're up before the sun and the sun hits you and you like feel that energy in your eyes? I wake up and I try to force it, bro. I'm like, I got stuff to do.
Let's go.
Come on, man. It feels good, but it's not the same. But yeah, you have to jump out of bed, man, because isn't life worth jumping out of bed for?
And that's kind of the point. It's like if you're not getting out of bed with that kind of intensity, like we need some changes to happen in your life.
First thing in the morning,
we got to get something that you're fighting for, that you're building for,
or at least
that you're working towards.
There is something there. You just don't look at it.
But there needs to be something in your life that's worth getting out of bed.
Yeah.
Getting out of bed. Now, if you're married and you got a hot ass wife, that's a different problem to have. And I've been caught. There have been times where my alarm goes off and it's time for me to hop out of bed. And if my kid's not in bed with me, then she's trying to like, why don't you just come on over here? I'm like, well, that's
Marcus
not so bad.
Aurelius said,
excuse me, ma'am.
That shit don't exist. Yeah.
No, I'm going to, so every once in a while that happens.
That's your super you.
Yeah. That's it's called me getting super late is what that's calling.
Yeah.
Anyways. So I see what you mean. Like I said, the only thing that I can say is
it's a workout. It's an exercise.
The only thing I can say is initially when somebody's in the lowest, that voice they need to be again though. They need to be insulated to a team and to their people.
Yeah, I think then the most important is identification of the voices.
Yeah. And other people letting you know, like me telling you right now that is not your friend.
Yeah.
That voice is not your friend, does not have your best interest in mind.
Yeah.
And doesn't want what's best for you.
Yeah, obviously.
And there's a version in there that does want what's best for you.
Yeah.
And sees what the value you bring to the table. And I was on the call yesterday, and it was an emotional call. We were talking about, being shackled to your traumas and, just being shackled to your beliefs that are holding you back. And one of the guys shared, who's lost a ton of weight, single dad. And it amazes me, and this is stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people don't realize, like how many people, and us included, because we've had these conversations, of men specifically never being told or never feeling that they were deserving of love.
Yeah.
Deserving of love.
Yeah. That's so toxic. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I told him, I said, listen, dude, like, here's the reality. Right in the call with like fucking 100 people on the ground. I'm like, dude, you are 100% deserving of love.
Yeah.
Deserving of compassion, deserving of relationship, deserving of having the body that you want.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you're working towards. And deserving to be, the best father that you can be.
Yeah.
All of this takes work, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
what you put in is what you get out. Yeah.
People just don't. Yeah. How many men in their later in life, my age group, has ever been told you are deserving of love? Not me. Yeah, not until I was much older and on this path. Most men, go take your ass to work, do your job.
Yeah.
No thanks needed.
Yeah.
Grind.
Yeah. And then snap.
Yeah. And then put on 5-10 pounds every year.
It's just so bad because when you're told
over a decade,
when you're told externally, not even told, when you're like shown through actions of like the people who traumatized you or like caused the trauma, when you're shown through their actions that you're not deserving of love.
It doesn't even have to be like really intense stuff. It just could be things little things that have been said to you over the years. I've never
seen my parents kiss.
Paper cuts.
Yeah,
the Chinese method of small cuts. Like, I've never seen my parents kiss. I didn't realize this. I had a bus driver when I was a kid. I'm not saying it got weird, but she was like, I had a speech impediment. I still kind of do, my R's and whatever, right? So like, I
say shit all fucked up all the time.
Dude, it's a very common thing, but like, we label people as disabled for that. Anyway, that's a whole separate thing. But I had a bus driver when I was young try to teach me how to say R's better. So she was like, perch your lips like you're going to kiss. And I was like, I don't know how to kiss. I've never seen my parents. So like, growing up through those lack of actions, it's almost the same. Like, I don't think I deserve love or kissing because I've never seen it. So like,
and it's not been shown to you.
It's never been shown. Yeah. So even with like, like extreme accountability, you're accountable for the choices you make and the choices you did not make. Mm-hmm. So like, through the non-show of that action or non-action, I felt that way also. So like, that trauma comes in many forms, but like, when you feel that way, I don't deserve love externally, that mirrors immediately to internally as well. Like, I don't deserve to internally love myself. So that bleeds everywhere. And then it's just like, what's next? Like, how do you move past that without a team? You know what I mean? You need to find people that have that love for you. You know what I mean? That furnace inside that can start your flame back up. But I do. That's so sad. And most
people don't have that. Most people don't have that. And it's sad because most people don't even have that with the people they're married to.
Yeah, I know.
Both women and men.
I know. You'd be surprised. You see a couple and you're like, don't you tell people that you love that person? Are you going to show that? Are you going to show that at any point, or are you just going to yell at them all the time?
Right.
Yeah. So, and disagree. And like, I've seen couples where because the wife said, pick this, they pick the opposite, or they pick something different to be like that petty shit. And they're like, it's joking.
Well, it's what it is it's broken promises over a very long period of time that builds resentment, and that's the reason why they act the way they do.
Yeah.
So if you constantly, and here's a scenario. Have you ever been in an environment where, and I'm just going to slam men here for a second, not in Key West.
I was going to say like a Key West reference.
No, it's not a Key West reference. But you ever been in an event or a party or something like that where the husband says something to the wife and the wife kind of makes like a snarky comment in front of everybody, like kind of putting the husband down?
Yeah.
You've seen that, Mario, as well? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I, when I was younger, I always thought, man, what a bitch.
Right. Yeah.
Like, my initial reaction is like, damn,
she sucks.
Like,
yeah,
must suck to be married to her.
Called you out. I think it was
dang.
Seneca had like a fucking miserable wife like that.
Really?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So, what I've come to learn though is obviously you didn't marry that woman that was like that. Right?
Something happened.
Something happened, right?
Yeah.
And typically, what I've seen now of working with thousands of men in their relationships and their life and their whatever is when you dig into it, the men basically broke a bunch of promises to them.
Yeah.
And it could be a little thing like, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to do date nights. I'm going to make you a priority. I'm going to do this.
We're going on our honeymoon.
We're going on our honeymoon.
Yeah.
And then they just never do it.
Yeah.
Because of whatever reason. They don't make it a priority.
I have work.
Yeah.
Yeah, some shit.
So big or small, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that like adultery was the issue.
No, I'll be home for dinner tonight.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to be home
every day. I'm
going to come home, make sure I'm home by 6 every night so we can have family time. Take the kids out, date the daughter, date the wife, etc.
Yeah.
And they just don't do that.
Yeah.
Okay. And over a period of time, what happens is the woman builds resentment to where they resent the husband for broken promises and they no longer respect the man that he is because of it.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for them to just publicly throw a little dig, a little velvet dagger in there in front of people. And it's like, is she a bitch or is she just hurt?
Yeah.
Because you haven't kept up your side of the bargain and your word.
Yeah.
And I know that I've been that guy as well. So, So
and we do that to ourselves also.
Yeah.
Which is like even fucking worse.
Even worse. And we've talked about that a lot. That, like again, Mario made a promise to himself and the first thing he did was he cheated on himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say too, it's funny because like when I laid back down,
how'd that feel?
It's like, so we're talking about the volume. One's up on one, one's down on the other. Mm-hmm. There was a little part of me that was like, dude, just fucking get up.
Yeah.
But then the little bitch voice was like, no, it's fine, dude. You just wake up in a little bit.
Coach Joe said I need recovery.
Yeah, Coach. Yeah. Thanks, Coach Joe.
Yeah. But the other voice is there.
If Joe hears this, he's going to be like, motherfucker.
he's gonna come over here. He's going to slap the fuck out of me.
It's wild, though, because you're saying, like, no matter where you are, you do hear both voices.
Yeah.
You do hear them.
Yeah.
But we, like, choose to put one, like, way up on the bleachers and the other one get the microphone.
Yeah, but I think that's where, like, obviously, like, I'm in a very healthy place where I'm at now. So, like, that voice is pretty quiet.
Like, you understand you're wearing a dunce cap. Like, that guy has a permanent dunce cap.
Yeah. But like I said, like, Mario's going through a bunch of, hard personal stuff. So it's like, that's where, like, that voice just gets really loud.
Yeah.
It gets too loud.
Well, it's because you're vulnerable too. Like, you're vulnerable, you're hurt, you're looking.
Now
for
I know.
something.
Thanks for telling me, Mario. Because now I know. Well,
he's gonna be calling me. He's gonna call me at 5 o'clock.
Fucking 5 o'clock, 4 a.m. motherfucker. Yeah.
But it is.
We're gonna fix this shit real quick.
But Mario, you can do things. And for anyone listening to, if you don't wake up to your alarm, like, you can break promises to yourself and fix them. Like, you can, it's not like broken forever. Like, do you know how people, like, they'll break something, they're like, well, fuck, it's January 3rd and I didn't go to the gym today. Next year, you know what I mean? Like,
no, it starts now. Like, it always starts now.
Like Mario, if you were to be like, hey, I'm gonna drink half a gallon of water before the end of the day, like, you can recover yourself. Like, if you didn't make it home to dinner like you said you were gonna be to your wife, like, it doesn't mean give the fuck up. Like, make another promise and follow through with it. Like, there's a billion other promises you can keep to yourself.
It's the same. It's kind of the concept, like, the diet starts Monday. No, it starts today.
Like, when did you think about it?
Everything starts now.
Right there. Yeah, right now. I had a thing. I hate my wallet going on base. I used to go on base, like, I was an armor, so random hours in the night. My wallet would be in my back pocket. As soon as I would be like, oh, I have to get my ID out, every moment I didn't reach back and grab it was a burden, because I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna have to do it when I get there. I'm just gonna have to do it. And that's a stupid metaphor, but, like, is that not the same thing? Like, I'm gonna start losing weight. Every moment that passes I don't start is like a burden now. It's like a time I could have started. Man, I'm an hour behind. I thought about it an hour ago. Like,
well,
I'll wait for the perfect time.
Here's a great point to that about jumping and not hesitating and making action, because just look at compounding interest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, like, we were running through, what was the exercise called when we were evaluating Johnny Six? They put us through.
Oh, you're talking about the Buffett thing?
The time and money.
Yeah, the Warren Buffett calculator.
Yeah. Well, he just used him as an example.
Oh, his like net worth calculator.
Yeah. But it was basically basically time and money calculation.
Yeah.
And it was basically talking about compounding interest. So if you sell the business at X and then you have this amount of money, where's, asset, portfolio. We were getting into like portfolio management and managing money and living off of dividends and et cetera. But like we ran your money at your age and my money at my age.
Yeah.
Right. Very different.
Very different. Yeah. Yeah.
like
I was very hopeful.
Like $500 million different.
Yeah. It was wild. Yeah.
And, but to that point, let's think about starting that diet, writing that book, whatever the thing is that you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Every day you don't, you're essentially losing that day of compounding interest, which doesn't seem like much initially.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, the wife, the kids, the money, the weight loss, the business, whatever it is for you, right? Doesn't seem like a lot because you said you were going to get up on Monday and go to the gym. So you didn't, but you did it on you did it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That one day does cost you more than you think.
Yeah.
Because of the compounding interest of over a period of time, because it takes so much time. But then once you hit that snowball effect, and the sooner that you can start the process and be consistent with whatever the thing is, the sooner the snowball effect will happen.
Yeah.
And will change your life exponentially.
Yeah. There's the Amelia Earhart, that story with her. Her first initial, like she had a pilot's license, but she wasn't a pilot because of the time, like women's suffrages didn't like come around, you know what I mean? It was like a big thing. So there was no like woman pilots, but her first
You don't have a penis, you can't fly a plane.
You can't do this. But she was like working.
If you didn't know, that's how planes fly.
Yeah. Only men can do it. I don't know. It was something like she was working as like, I don't know, with people. I don't know what she did, but she got a phone call and it was like super derogatory. They were like, hey, we want a woman pilot to fly over the transatlantic, whatever, but you're not going to get paid. There's going to be 2 men with you. They're going to get paid a lot and you might die. And she said yes, even though she could have easily like snubbed her nose at it and was like, no, I'm not interested in doing that. She said yes to the challenge because she knew as soon as she gets in there, that momentum starting with the consistency of doing that snowballed her to become one of the most famous people in history in the world for that action because she just said yes instead of waiting to, there'll be a better opportunity later. I can go to the gym next week. You know what I mean? Like there's no perfect thing. Launch the iPhone now. Like let's find the fails now. So that way we can fix them before we try again. You know what I mean?
Go to market. Is it 80%?
Yeah, launch it.
Let's go.
Like you don't have your protein shake? Who was it? I think Nick G. Nick G went to the gym. He didn't have a protein shake. He didn't have his workout clothes, and he was like, "I'm gonna go anyway."
Fuck it.
Yeah, like why would I wait?
But he just created that one more compounding interest.
Thing, and because of that, momentum that pushes you. If you keep saying yes to those moments, it pushes you to the success that you were looking for, and then other opportunities to be more successful. Just saying yes.
Speaking on that, we were in a pretty deep conversation just a bit ago, talking about people that say no, and the man and woman that introduced me to Kirk Weisler years ago. They owned a ranch in Colorado and were lending it to us, donating it to us for some veteran work that we were doing at the time, and brought him along. But anyways, I was talking to her. She read, and you said it was actually a Jim Carrey movie, but we were talking about, she said for a while, and they were she was like late 60s, he was in the early 70s, and they just said, you know what? They got in a place in their life, they were just going to say yes to opportunities.
Yeah.
For a period of time. And I think this comes from a book, and I don't know what the book is. If this sounds familiar and you know the book, please put it in the comments because I want to find it. Well, basically, this guy,
Jim Carrey movie, yes, man.
yeah, or just watch the Jim Carrey movie.
I watched the movie. I don't read the
book. But it was basically saying yes to everything that came to you, right?
Yeah.
And this guy, for a period of time, and I don't remember what period of time it was, and this is how the book started. He just said yes to every opportunity. Mm-hmm. Initially, it was like a drag. He was like, "Oh God, I have to do this thing. They invited me. I don't want to go."
So lame.
You know, right?
I don't want to do all this.
I don't want to do all this.
I don't
have
time for all this.
Yeah, I just want to go home and do whatever I want to do. Right?
Yeah.
Now now I'm biking across America.
Yeah.
They trick fucked me. Anyways, at the end of this experiment, he said he was basically so much more ecstatic about life. Like he said, he had met amazing people. He had done so many amazing things. He had lived more in that period of time than he had ever have in like the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Because he just said yes. And like he said that not everything was enjoyable, but the gross majority of it was. And him looking back on that period of time, he was like, I'm blown away at how much life I've actually experienced comparative to saying no all the time.
Yeah. I look at it like, I compare it all, like my metaphors and shit. I compare it to like a menu. Like if you say yes to every one thing on a menu and you try it all, you're going to have like 20% you don't like, but you're going to have 80% you do like.
That you never even knew.
And you just mastered the menu.
Yeah.
Anyone can come up to you and you know every single one of them.
And you can give experiences and talk about every single thing.
Life has a menu too. It's just much bigger. But if you say no to random things, you're never going to know. You know what I mean? And like, that sounds really lame to me.
And typically we're very closed off to opportunities. We're very closed off to things, and to the point to where we limit ourselves in growth and experiences.
Yeah.
And what is it to be human? To
become the big tree you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
To grow.
To have experiences.
Yeah.
To live life. And I think that we get so rooted into what we believe and the way that we see things that we don't give the room for those opportunities.
Yeah. Our traditions like kill us at that point. Yeah. And then of course, like the things that we do, we label things like in our culture, we love labels, but like we label things as highs that are really lows or supposedly if the point of life is growth, then like you didn't grow when you went to graduation. Like you didn't grow when your wedding day wasn't growth. You know what I mean? That was the absence of it. The arguments you had leading up to that was growth, but you don't consider that a high. You consider that a low,
Right.
Like when people like addicts, when they hit rock bottom, they learn a fuck ton down there. But that's seen as a low.
Or you and I, when we go like, hey, I need to have an uncomfortable conversation.
You're
like, fuck, okay, well,
should
let's
we
get
label
into
that
it.
As a low? Because it feels like a high afterwards.
Yeah,
you know what
because
I mean?
we broke through something.
Sigmund Freud said that. Like at some point, you're going to see your lows are actually really highs. And that's going to switch. So I've gotten used to like switching the labels around.
Well, it's funny because this goes into the same thing. If people really think about the things that they're most proud about.
Yeah.
Right. It's always the most hardest shit they've ever done.
They're not like shiny, polished things.
No, it was not you sitting on a beach.
The football team in college.
Yeah, the sitting on the beach drinking a Mai Tai out of a coconut. I don't know if you drink Mai Tais out of a coconut, but
I don't know either.
But it sounds right.
It sounds bougie.
Yeah.
It sounds like someone's doing it.
That's not what they're remembering.
Yeah. Most of the time, they'll probably forget about that, actually.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what they will remember is that time that they ran a marathon, that they trained all this time for running a marathon, or they did something difficult, or they like built a business, or they raised their kid,
or they approached somebody that they were intimidated of to deal with something. Shit. Yeah. Hard conversation.
These are the things that they're going to be proud of. Yeah. It's all the difficult shit that they had to actually triumph.
Right. Yeah.
Versus just.
So get used to calling those highs because that's where you learn, and then like get used to chasing those things.
And each one is opportunity for something greater.
And saying yes to that shit is like, obviously, like every time you say no to it, it should and could be labeled as your inner bitch, right? Like,
I mean, I don't know how. Like at this point, if I was talking to myself 10 plus years ago, I don't know how I would take it. So it's hard to probably listen to this and think that like that's the way.
Yeah.
But holy shit, dude! Like once you are unbound by your perception.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking world is wild, man.
Because it really is blinders.
The opportunity for life, the opportunity for success, the opportunity for love and fulfillment.
Yeah.
Is so great.
It's like endless almost. Like you can see it everywhere.
But you have to let go of your perception of life.
Yeah, you're like the perceptions you were traditionally like taught. Mm-hmm. Stay in these. Yeah.
Stay in these lanes.
Yeah.
Be in this box.
Yeah.
when you break out of the box and you break free from that, it's pretty life's pretty fucking dope.
Yeah, but like you said, you have to be doing it.
Yeah, it's, I have a tattoo of you ever seen the runes on my back of my arm? Everybody's always asks what it means. Yeah, and when we went to Iceland with Matt Vincent on that trip, and this guy, if you want to go on some this guy runs trips. If you want to go on a trip with Matt Vincent.
Wow, the trips he goes on.
I know. He just got back from Egypt.
Egypt?
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
So hit him up and go on one of those trips. It'll be an experience of a lifetime. I've done a whole bunch of them because we're friends. But we all got this tattoo of runes when we went to Iceland. We did like a 11-day trip over there around the island. It's all on YouTube. Yeah. But the tattoo basically says life is tight if you'll live it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the actual translation is life will be good if you're allowed to live it or something like that. But same thing.
I get it. Yeah.
But you got to live it.
You have to allow it,
which means you have to say
yes.
Yes.
The things that you would normally say no
to.
Pull
a Jim Carrey.
Yeah. Especially early.
I have to go watch that movie now.
Dude, you should. It's funny. However, though, he gets like, because he says yes to everything, which is like absolutely wild. This will not happen to you. I can almost guarantee it. He gets like investigated and arrested by the FBI because he learned Japanese and he pilots they thought he was a terrorist like that. There's no way you can just like toss a puzzle upside down and it lands in it. Like that's just a weird circumstance. But like I think initially, if you're trying to figure out like what your inner bitch voice is, just start saying yes to things, because the inner bitch
it's gonna be like, no, don't do that.
Don't do that. You got to go home and recover, right? Or you got to say like, if you start saying yes to setting the alarm clock and saying yes to like starting a diet, like those things are gonna like fizzle away. Do you know what I mean? And then you're gonna learn eventually like, that doesn't align with my purpose. I'm going to say no to that. And I'm talking about like experience down the line. Like you're gonna be able to identify, and we talked about this, like when an opportunity approaches you, you won't just need to say yes. You'll be able to be like, well, that doesn't align with my diet, so no, I won't have that cookie. Thank you for the offer. You know what I mean? Yeah. But at the time, you're like, yes, I'll try anything. Yes. But then at some point, you got to be like, that doesn't align with who I am and my purpose and what I'm trying to do in life.
Right.
But you won't know that until you start.
You gotta walk. Yes. You gotta walk down. I tell people all the time, and we're gonna make a video. I'm talking about purpose today. Everybody talks like, oh, you gotta find your purpose, dude. For somebody who doesn't know their purpose, that's fucking daunting.
Bro, I had it was like a really long thought I had on it. I was real quiet so I can sit and think about it, about purpose, about how purpose is like this big shiny marketing word almost, and how it's
exactly
like, and it's like discussing how it's been like that, and that's why people are lost.
Yeah,
because purpose isn't just like, my purpose is to be a business owner. Like that's not a purpose, bro. That's a job. That's like something you're gonna do.
You just created your own job.
Yeah. You know,
you can be passionate about it, which we are.
And purpose is like, it's not as straightforward as like you need to have a lot of money, you need to be a happy family. Like there's people, and I can take it real dark. There's some people's purpose is to die. That's wild, but like, how do we find vaccines? How do we find medications? How do we find illnesses? Like somebody has to get, right?
Yeah.
So like purpose is not just one level. It's like many tiers, many different dimensions. It can be anything. But if you're just saying no and you're like, shut off and listen to your inner bitch, you're never going to find it. Like it's impossible. You're not searching anymore.
And,
you know?
And so that's what I'm going to talk about is, you know, you don't find it day one.
Yeah.
You find it through walking the yellow brick road, going on the journey.
Yeah.
You know, having the adventure.
Yeah.
You know, experiencing things, saying yes to things.
Not scrolling through TikTok. You're not going to find a purpose.
Yeah, not finger banging your iPhone.
Yeah.
That's my trademark term for it.
I like
Mario.
Yeah.
I'm doing that.
I feel like it's gotten more uncensored. You said it before and it wasn't as dark and dirty as that.
No, I don't think it was.
Oh, it was finger fucking.
Was it?
I think you said finger fuck my iPhone. I feel like that's better than finger banging.
No, now it's finger banging.
That's actually better. Maybe the Marine. I don't know. It was just like finger fucking makes sense. I don't know.
I said that something on a call, or said that I said it at Entrepreneur Accelerator, and they were like, "Oh my god!"
You said it at the mastermind too.
Did I really?
Yeah. Everyone loved it. It was like that because it makes sense. That's what we're
Everybody
doing.
immediately knows what they're like. And every time they do it now, they're like, "Oh, I'm just over here finger banging my iPhone."
It makes sense, man. Yeah. I actually had an idea to make a short video. Maybe we can all work together on this. So like, your phone is essentially your personal assistant, right? Everyone has like their phone as their assistant. So like you're going about your day, like we're having a talk here. I had to put my personal assistant on shut up mode because it was bothering me.
Yeah.
But essentially imagine like you're working at your desk or working at home, wherever you do, and all of a sudden you have your personal assistant, a living human being, come up and be like, hey, Joe Smith liked your post on Instagram. Do you wanna check it out? Hey, this guy said,
oh my God, dude.
You know what I mean?
Could you imagine?
Dude, at some point, you got to be like, stop bothering me, right?
Yeah.
Like, or at some of them, yeah, actually, let me know. That guy said, fuck you on Instagram. Let me open that real quick, right? But like, there has to be this like give and take. You can't just say yes to everything that pops up on your phone. And it's like, a lot of people just say yes to it, the wrong things. They're saying yes to all of the notifications. Personal assistant, come here and tell me everything.
There was there's a movie called, movie/documentary called The Social Dilemma.
Oh,
have you seen that?
Netflix, I think, what had it?
Something like that.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. I think the cover was an iPhone.
Yeah, and it basically is along the same lines in how it was all designed to gather your attention and then give you the information it wanted to give you, to manipulate your
perception.
A
piece of candy.
Yeah,
here's a piece of candy.
I was like, it was pretty dope.
Yeah,
it was
because
dope.
Then I think in that documentary they talked about how people's pursuit for hearts, likes, thumbs up.
Yeah, and it was really revolved around youth.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
but adults fall into the same shit.
Easily influenced, dude. I saw a guy on the plane on the way back. Speaking of which, I've never seen this man. I should not have given him as much energy as I did, but dude, I was like. You can ask Rebecca. I was like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? He literally created this world where he got, dude, Comfort Plus, Delta. You're sitting nice, right? This guy sat, the seat that's like in front of the extra storage space with the coffee and everything. He had seats right behind that. Bro had like normal leg space, if not a little bit extra. Dude was like up in arms and wanted everyone to know about how upset he was about having less leg space than that guy next to him. So he literally went up and was like, I just had double knee surgery. This guy walked up to he's like, I just had double knee surgery. I need my seat changed. And I was like, dude, did he really just say that? Like, the guy is walking fine. Like, he's doing squats over here. Like, so he literally was complaining about this all the time. As he sat there and the flight attendant's like walking around asking people if they're willing to move, blah, blah, blah. He's literally on Instagram just scrolling on his phone. Just constantly. And then as she comes up and asks him, like, are you willing to move over here? You'd be separated from your wife. He's like, no, find me one where we both can go. And he's just like flipping through his phone. This guy's like in his 60s. Like, and I'm like, bro, you are acting like a 10-year-old. Like, wow, what are you doing right now? The guy next to him was like, hey, I can just trade with you. I'm fine sitting by the window. And he's like, nah, it's okay. Nah, it's okay. And he's like rubbing his knees. 20 minutes go by and he's like, I'll switch with you now. And the guy switched. I'm like, so you needed to involve everybody in this whole thing?
God.
This grown-ass man. So I'm like, dude, what is going on? It's not just kids anymore. It's like this grown man is just scrolling through Instagram, looking at food stuff and cars on his phone.
Just like, cause chaos.
He's just like, what do you do? Like, numb.
He's miserable internally.
Just numb. And he wanted to make it everybody's thing.
Don't be like that.
Don't be like that guy, man. That's so
Don't
miserable.
be like that guy.
If I was that other guy, I would be like, oh, no, your time expired on that offer. Sorry.
Yeah. And, yeah,
it's just wild that people latch onto something so like insignificant. Like,
I don't know about
so
you, but like I fly a lot. I pick my seat.
You pick your seat, right?
I'm gonna buy a ticket and
that's
then
what I'm
on
saying.
there and it's like I want to sit. These are the seats that are open. I'm gonna sit here.
So talking about extreme accountability, bro, you chose that seat, bro.
Yeah.
Like own up to that. Don't try to come up with like, oh,
or if your wife chose it, you sit there.
Yeah.
And you let your knees hurt, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. or like you figure
hold your wife's hand.
This grown man was just crying about this such insignificant thing. And I'm like, dude, there's got to be something else going on in your life that needs attention. Like, there's no way that this is the only thing. And on the plane, he was just this grumpy old man sitting in the corner just scrolling on his phone. Dude. And I was like, dude, this is not just I thought it was just a youth thing. You know, you and I visited the school. All the kids are in their pajamas. And I was like, oh, this is definitely a youth thing. Nah, man, go to an airport. You find grown ass people like that too, and I'm like, man. But I understand there has to be them for us to exist, and the contrast of us. But yeah, don't finger bang your phone.
I think it's a good spot. Good spot to end it. All right, guys. Episode. When's this coming out?
So Kirk's will be next week, and then it'll be the following week.
So episode 3 will be out or episode 2?
I don't know.
Oh,
no, episode 2.
Back up. Are we talking about Grit the Glory?
Yeah.
Oh, Grit the Glory. The second episode comes out this Friday, and I believe the next episode comes at the
end of February.
End of February.
Okay, so episode 2 is launched by this time. Go check out episode 1 and episode 2.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed the trailer. The biggest thing, man, is we're not just selling soap.
Yeah.
I thought we would just be selling Johnny Slicks.
Yeah.
We're not selling Johnny Slicks.
I love America.
We're selling America.
Yeah.
Like, we really are.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we're doing.
Or maybe we're buying America.
Back.
Yeah.
From overseas.
Maybe.
We're buying. I like that. We're buying America back from China. That's what we're doing. It feels like
it when I pay some of these invoices for some of the supplies. I feel like we're buying America back.
No kidding. So, hey, guys, the team is putting a lot of work into that series, and it gives you a kind of an intricate idea of what we're dealing with and how we're doing what we're doing. So go check out Grit the Glory and go buy yourself some Johnny Slicks. Otherwise, do you even love America?
Yeah. If you don't, it's like a clear action that you do not.
Yeah. If you don't buy Johnny Slicks, I'm not sure that you are an American. Yeah. I have to check that citizenship.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right, guys. You guys know the deal. Never quit, never surrender, always forward. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.